Hey everyone, welcome back to another Secrets and Analysis video. This time we are doing Adventures in Light Distortion, the second episode of the fifth Steven Bomb, and of course I'm here with Michael, and we are going to discuss exactly what happened in detail, and try to mention as many secrets and other cool little tidbits we noticed from the episode.
Oh yeah.
So basically from the last episode, continuing pretty much straight off from the last one, we see that Stephen and Garnet tell Pearl and Amethyst about what happened. Meeting Blue Diamond and Greg getting taken by her. So then this, leads to a conversation. What did she do with him? And the only thing the Gems could think of is that he has been being taken to Pink Diamond Zoo, which is filled with humans. And apparently thousands of years ago, when, Pink Diamond was, colonizing Earth, she took a few humans as trophies, probably because this was her first colony. She really had, I think she loved it a lot, even though in a weird way, because obviously taking humans, doing bad stuff,
Yeah.
not good. But she still really adored Earth, probably. Not in the same way, obviously, that Rose did, or, other Crystal Gems did, because they obviously saw value in what was Earth already had, not, for its resources. But after the war, the zoo is still around, but the Crystal Gems had no way of getting to the zoo, probably because it was so far away and they didn't have a ship, but also because, it was controlled by Homeworld still. So they just had to be on Earth, and obviously their forces after the war were pretty much nothing compared to what they had during the war.
Yeah.
Most gems were corrupted at that point on Earth. So this means that Ronaldo was 100% right, once again, about his theory about a huge hand taking humans, picking them up from Earth and taking them to a human zoo. He said a quote about this in Rising Tides, Crashing Skies, and that was very cool to see that he was right once again. So he's been right a ton of times, and this was from season 2, so that's pretty incredible that he predicted this pretty early in the show, I'd say.
Yeah, the foreshadowing in the show is brilliant because it's like so small. You would never ever believe for a second like that it would ever mean anything. Like Connie's book in the beginning, in the intro. Like I didn't even pay attention to the book at all. Like and
yeah, I didn't until like much later we're like, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, I would never have thought. And then Ronaldo, it's really brilliant writing because you're supposed to not take Ronaldo seriously. He's supposed to seem like a weirdo, nut job, goofball, and he's actually right every single time, and it's
pretty much
amazing.
Like the only thing we have left I can think of off the top of my head is like the Sneeple, which he talked about a ton in Keep Beat City Weird. So that still has yet to come true. I don't know if we want it to come true. Because they're the ones controlling the government, apparently. So who knows that they're the makers of the gems or something. We'll talk about that maybe eventually. If we get more evidence or information about that.
Yeah, I can't believe we're getting to the point where we might make a Sneeple video.
Oh yeah, I've been ready for a while. So anyways, going back to the episode. I did notice that Pearl said she served Homeworld. She was very hesitant. Like she was about to say almost who she served in this episode, but she didn't, and I'm not happy. Obviously, I for the longest time I wanted to know who did she serve, and so it's still a mystery. And it would have been really interesting to see if she mentioned it like all of a sudden in this episode, but hopefully sometime soon we'll learn for this. I've been wondering since season 1 pretty much.
Yeah, that was definitely intentional because I think the writers know that we're probably catching on to that by now. So they're probably going to wait to do like a really big reveal for it. So it's probably one of the diamonds, most likely.
Yeah. And I've had theories about that several times.
Yeah.
So you could go check any of those out by looking through our channel and looking through all the theories we got. So they go onto the Ruby ship to get to the zoo because it's like, how I've mentioned before, how this is probably the way that they're going to, go into space, obviously. And it can go really fast. So, that's good that they were able to do that, not have to wait a lot of years to get there. But Peridot probably should have altered the settings from what the Rubies had, like she said she should have, but she didn't get the chance to. So that causes most of the complications in this episode, is all because Peridot didn't have a minute to alter the settings.
Yeah.
But what's really interesting, I think we kind of got more confirmation on what exactly how the ship worked, and some people did guess it from looking from, I think it was like Hit the Diamond, I believe, when we saw the Ruby ship first. Was that maybe the first episode? I don't know, but anyways, we saw it in action, and now we totally see it a lot more here. Basically, the ship moves by having like a black hole in front of it, and it gets pulled to go faster than the speed of light, which is done with its gravity warp engine. So I'm not really like a science person at all, but that's what I've read, and it does kind of make sense. And they kind of say it in the show, like just a tiny bit.
Yeah.
But which means that if it goes faster than the speed of light, then that means that they got to the zoo in almost an instant, pretty much, and not much time has passed. Because at first they were like, oh, it's gonna take 70 years, and that's no good. So obviously, I'm glad they were able to go super fast. Which means coming back, hopefully not too much time has passed, not like years. That'd be really interesting if years had passed.
Oh my god.
Like, that'd be terrible, actually.
I mean, Greg would definitely be dead.
Well, no. I mean, like, if they were on this. Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Like, on the way back.
Yeah, still dead.
That's true.
Yeah. But once you get space-timey stuff involved, it gets complicated, and it sounds sciencey and like it makes sense, but like most of the viewers are not gonna be educated and or smart enough to understand whether it makes sense or not. So we just roll with it. No, I was saying what was interesting is just a little note, a little footnote. But Connie, Lapis, and Peridot were all asked to basically protect Beach City if anything were to happen. So that leads me to believe that something may happen. Because I feel like they wouldn't necessarily just say that. But we can kind of get to that in one of the later episodes. But yeah, that was just something that I found interesting.
Yeah, for sure. So also moving on, a really cool thing or funny thing that I thought was that they run into the Rubies while in space, which of course leads to the question if they are going to get them when they get back. They said they would, so hopefully that becomes true. I don't know what's gonna happen there.
Yeah, that's probably next, I would assume.
Yeah, if they skip that'd suck for the Rubies. I'm just so surprised they ran into them because they're so small. They just ran into 3 of them. In space. Yeah. Because I don't know. I guess then that means hopefully the rest of them are close by, so they can find them eventually. So basically, because they want to go faster. So Steven turns on the gravity warp, and the gems turn ruby size, and that's interesting to see how the ship works. And you got settings for rubies, some other gems, and even diamonds. So that was cool to see. But of course, Steven cannot find the right setting, so he just starts like pushing buttons, and then that turns off the calibration altogether. And then I guess, so I don't know, it just goes super fast, and like the pressure is too much, or I'm not science. I don't know much science stuff, but basically everything goes so fast that the light bodies of the gems are unable to catch up with the ship, which leads to like a lot of problems because they're not there to help him, and Steven was having a hard time, trying to turn that off because he's being pushed back onto the chair. And even worse, that the ship was about to crash into the zoo, it looks like. So thankfully, he stops that right on time.
Yeah, I like how this episode, like, in the midst of this super, like, serious things about to go down arc, they found some time for some silliness with their body just kind of flailing apart and just goofy, like, squishy ruby bodies. It's pretty
I mean, then right after that, Steven starts crying and cries for his dad, so balance it off.
That escalated pretty quickly.
Yeah, it definitely did.
No pun intended.
So thankfully they make it to the zoo on time without crashing into it, and that pretty much is the end of the episode, and you get to see the zoo, and it's a really interesting design. I really like the design of it. Of course, it's pink because those pink diamonds, but it also almost looks like a dagger. I don't know if that's supposed to mean anything. I don't know what to comment about the design of it, really, because that just could be how Homeworld used to design stuff, or still design stuff, maybe. But I love the design of it.
Yeah, it's really cool. I wonder if the, like, calibration stuff in the ship has to do with the difference in size from the outside to the inside at all, because it doesn't actually make any physical sense.
Yeah, that makes.
So I don't know if that's like some type of weird gem magic-y, like dimensional calibration sciencey thing that's happening.
That could be. I don't.
Yeah, they didn't really talk about that.
Yeah, if they talk about it, then definitely we'll look more into it. But I'm not really too educated in that kind of stuff. So I'm just gonna say magic.
Yeah, why not?
So that pretty much covers it for this episode, wouldn't you say? I think.
Yeah, there wasn't anything super crazy, really.
Yeah, but in the next episodes, then it's gonna get pretty intense. So tomorrow we will be discussing, I believe, the next episode, which is Gem Heist. So look forward to that. And then, of course, throughout the rest of the week, we will also be discussing the other two. So make sure that you can enjoy these analysis, but also when the episode actually airs, make sure to watch it on Cartoon Network or the app, and then maybe even buy it on iTunes when it comes out there too, just to support the show. Because a lot of people were watching leaks, unfortunately, which it's unfortunate that this happened, but
yeah,
we'll
and it was complicated.
Very complicated.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you then.
See ya.